Dear students, welcome back to lesson 2. Now we're going to be learning word order in questions, how to ask questions. Questions with to be verb, am, is, are. Questions with other verbs, main verbs, let's say. And common verbs, phrases too, and the free time activities. First, let's have a look at questions with to be verb, like am, is, are. First, we have the WH question word. WH question words are like that, they start with WH, like what, where, what time, why, how old, followed by to be verb, am, is, are, and then we have the subject like they, he, she, it, you, etc. So for example, first let's have a look at yes, no questions with to be verb. For example, are they American? So the answer is, you can either say yes, I am, or no, I am not. So that's a yes, no question. Is this your coat? So your answer is yes, it is, or sometimes if it is negative, no, it isn't. But questions with WH is different than am, is, are, yes, no questions. When we use WH questions, we give information to the hearer. For example, how old are you? So you can say like, I am 19 years old. So you give information to the hearer. Or where are you from? Or what time is it? Why are you late? So when we use WH questions, we give information to the next person. For example, why are you here? Because we are recording English lessons. We have word order in questions. First, in a positive sentence, we use the subject followed by a verb. For example, they are American. So they, subject, followed by to be verb, are. In an interrogative form, we use verb, am, is, are first, followed by the subject. For example, are they American? So that's a typical yes, no question. Are they American? Yes, they are. Or if the answer is negative, no, they aren't. As we have two types of word order. The first one is ASI questions, which stands for auxiliary. Auxiliary in the present simple tense is do or does, and this followed by the subject and infinitive. Infinitive stands for main verb. For example, do you speak English? So we have do, which is auxiliary, you is the subject, and infinitive is the main verb, speak. So do you speak English? And the answer can be yes, I do, or no, I don't, if it's negative. The other type is quasi questions. Quasi stands for question word first, followed by auxiliary, subject, and infinitive or main verb. So Q, question word, is WH questions, if you like where, how, when, what, where, what music, followed by auxiliary do, subject you, and infinitive live. So where do you live? So you give information to the hearer, like I live in Lefke. So where do you live? What does your sister do? What music do you like? When does Jane go to the gym? How do you spell your name? H-A-S-A-N. That's my name, Hassan. Now let's do some practice. Complete these sentences with a question word from the list. You can use have 2 times, what 2 times again, when, where, you can use where 2 times again, and who. For example, what time do you go to bed? And the answer is at about 11 o'clock. Now let's pause the video now and do some exercises. Let's now check the answers. Question number 1. What music does she like? Jazz and pop. Question 2. How old is your sister? She's 19. Question 3. What do you want for lunch? And the answer is a sandwich and a beer, please. Question 4. Who's that woman with Bob? His sister is the answer. Question 5. When do you have English classes? On Thursdays. Question 6. How do you spell your last name? And the answer is Johannson. Question 7. Where does your wife work? In an office. And the last one. Where do you usually go on holiday? And the answer is to the beach, or we sometimes go abroad. Let's do some practices. Order the words to make questions. For example, we have live, you, do, where. What we're going to do is to put them in a correct order, like where do you live? Here are some questions for you to do. Now, please pause the video and do the exercises. Here are the answers. Question number 1. Where do your brothers work? Where do your brothers work? Question 2. Is this your phone? Is this your phone? Question 3. What time does the film start? What time does the film start? Next. That's a yes, no, ASCII question. So we have, does your husband speak English? Does your husband speak English? And the answer should be yes, he does, or no, he doesn't, if it's negative. Next. How is your family? How is your family? Question 6. Are we late for class? Are we late for class? Question 7. Do your children like sushi? Do your children like sushi? And the last one. What time does your wife finish work? What time does your wife finish work? So in question 1, in question 3, 5, And 8, we have quasi-questions, which stands for question word, like what, where, which, when, etc., followed by an auxiliary verb, like in present tense we have do or sometimes does, and the subject, and lastly we have the infinitive or the main verb. Now let's do some more practice. Let's complete the questions with is, are, do, or does. Let's have a look at an example first. Where does your sister live? So first we have question word or WH question, where, followed by auxiliary verb, does, then subject, your sister, and lastly we have infinitive or main verb, live. Let's do some practice now. Now please pause the video and do the exercises. Now let's check your answers. Question number 1. Is football your favorite sport? Is football your favorite sport? Question 2. How do you relax at the weekends? How do you relax at the weekends? Question 3. What sports are popular in your country? What sports are popular in your country? Question 4. Are you hungry? It's time for lunch. Are you hungry? It's time for lunch. Question 5. Where do you usually have lunch on Sundays? Where do you usually have lunch on Sundays? Next. Does your country win a lot of medals in the Olympics? Does your country win a lot of medals in the Olympics? Question 7. How old is your teacher? How old is your teacher? Question 8. What TV programs does your husband like? What TV programs does your husband like? And the last one. Do you do sport or exercise during the week? Do you do sport or exercise during the week? Now please pause the video and go to lesson 2, then worksheet 1, and you can check your answers from answer key 1. Welcome back to lesson 2. Common verb phrases 2, free time. Go out at night. Go out at night. Play computer games. Play computer games. Do sport. Go to the beach. Do sport. Go to the beach. Go to the cinema. Go to the theater. Go to the cinema. Go to the theater. Stay at home. Play tennis. Stay at home. Play tennis. Walk in the mountains, for example. Play the piano. Walk in the mountains. Play the piano. Swim. Meet friends. Swim. Meet friends. Relax. You're doing nothing. And travel. Be careful with using meet because it has 3 different meanings. The first meaning is you meet a person for the first time that you don't know before, so you meet with a person, you shake hands, for example. That's for the first time. But if you know somebody previously and you meet at a certain place, you can say meet at the station, for example. Let's meet at this station. Let's meet at a cafeteria, for example. And the last one is like meet friends after work. So maybe you finish your work and you want to relax and you want to go somewhere with your friends. So you can say, let's meet at the cafeteria, or let's meet at a cinema after work.